Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Q's Commentary. And I happened to find this on my main feed when I just went to my YouTube pit channel. And I saw this video and I was a little bit interested because I saw that it was called Ask a Black Man and I saw what the title was. Again, I still don't understand why this topic is so controversial and why it dominates more so than why black women date white men. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know. But without further ado, let's begin to watch this disingenuous conversation.
I disagree with this whole idea.
I don't buy it. I really don't.
I don't think that swirling happens on lower levels than we think it does.
No doubt.
It really does.
What do you mean by that?
Like, there aren't that many black men marrying that many white women. It's not. The numbers are not that high. The statistics say so.
The profiles might be higher, so people say, okay, well, Kanye did it, so now this means X, Y, Z. This ball player did it, so that's all good. But even even that narrative.
Those are the exceptions, though, bro. Those are the exceptions.
That's the thing I said about the negative.
No
The negative gets put out there, and it just gets fed into for whatever reason.
The negative is more exciting.
The majority of the married black men I know who are in great positions, black women.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the
Me too.
majority.
Me too.
But like I said, most of them, they're not on the internet, they're not on Twitter, so as far as this conversation goes, they don't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
The angrier people.
Okay, so according to this man's whatever statistics he's quoting, he's saying that majority of black men are with black women. So then what the problem is? Why is it still such a touchy subject when it comes to black women, especially when they talk about this? If it's not statistically that high, then there's no reason to be upset when you see a black man with a white woman, because they're not marrying them at that particular clip. Maybe I'm just thinking too much.
People are the ones that make the most noise. And
Right.
that's why they determine what the narrative is going to be that we talk about.
True.
The swirling thing is it's in your mind. A lot of it's just in your mind.
And we also know we all can walk out with 10 black.
Again, if it's all in the mind, then why is it in your mind? Has anyone ever asked that question? If it's not this serious, and it's you can tell it's being poo-pooed, like it's really not that big of a deal, it's really not that great of a number of black men that are with white women, as if white women are the only other option if you don't be with a black woman. But for the sake of this conversation, let's pretend there's only two races of women. There's black and white. So if they're not with white that much, and they're predominantly with black women, why are black women and simps like these dudes having such a hissy fit? Let's continue.
Black women, but the first white woman we walk out with is.
What's the problem?
Oh my God! No, but
He's living a dream.
When it comes to money, oftentimes black men may attain a certain level financially, and then
He said something very crucial, and I don't know if people will catch it. He talked about the money. So is it a thing that the black women are mad that the black men have money, are not dating them? Is that what it really boils down to be? Because if black men are statistically dating or marrying black women more so than any other race of women on the face of the planet, why are black women bitching? Shouldn't they be happy that they have their black man? Oh, because the black man they probably with don't have the money that a Kanye has, that a Childish Gambino has, or any other black man that's typically in Hollywood, because typically that's who they talk about when they talk about black men dating white women. They're not talking about Jerome, who's down the street, who's dating a white chick, who works at FedEx or UPS or McDonald's. They're not talking about them because Jerome ain't making 6 to 7 figures a year. Makes sense.
enter a different realm of life.
Right.
And within that different realm, there may be more white women there.
Right.
True.
That's possible.
That's what it is.
It may just be if you hit that $1 million mark, for example. So
Not even though. But
around, you know, and unfortunately, we are conditioned to believe that white is that level of success. We're not gonna lie.
Okay. We're conditioned to believe that once we make a certain amount of money, we need to get a white woman. As a black man, if I somehow ended up becoming a millionaire, I'm going to divorce my black wife so I can get me a white woman to feel successful. Okay, I guess. That doesn't make any sense to me. The thing about it is, this is the shit that a lot of when this conversation comes up, this is the shit that typically gets left out. Okay, typically what happens is this dude is probably just being used by black females at one point in time. He figures in his mind, whether right or wrong, at some point when I get to a level, I'm going to just get me a female who wants to be with me. One thing that I would say white women are very good at doing is being very caring and very nurturing. One thing that black women are typically not very good at is even trying to pretend to be caring and nurturing, which is probably why they get left out in the cold and why the white woman tends to sneak her way into a black man's life who has money. And let's continue.
That's
true. Yeah.
But you know,
I don't know any dudes who are like, if I get a white chick, I'm winning.
I don't know.
I'm speaking historically. I'm speaking
That's
more
the-
like
I'm
deeper.
sure historically,
I
yes.
introduced
I'm talking about
someone
just right
that-
now.
Yeah.
If a guy says that, he's getting worked.
Wait.
Okay, I'm just going to answer this question. I honestly, at this stage in my life, knowing that black man's life is a very short span, I don't give a fuck about interracial dating. Honestly, I don't care. I don't like the unfair conversations that we're having right now, which is why black men are dating white women, but nobody ever stops to fucking ask, why are black women dating white men? That's my issue.
I heard a guy say he's married to a black woman.
Right.
And I was talking to him. He was like, yeah, you know, my next wife, she's gonna be white. I'm not doing no black woman. I can't do it. I'm
that's crazy.
That blew my mind. I'm like, wow.
Did you bark on him now?
Nah, I'm not gonna bark on him. He's a grown man. He can do it.
Why would you even say that? This is why I don't like simps. Why the fuck would you bark on another black man who says he has a preference or he's not going to deal with one group of women to deal with another group of women? I mean, you can say, why is that? But why the fuck would you bark? Why would you get upset with another man for saying where he's going to put his penis? I'm telling you, this is why being raised by women, black women, is just a fucking curse. Because no man would be upset over where another man is putting his penis.
You guys were friends?
No.
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
No.
I thought he was your friend. Okay.
No.
He's like, you barked on him, right? You did bark.
I respect that.
That's what you gotta do. Like sometimes you say something crazy.
But
like,
really,
hold up,
but at the same time,
but he has 6 children with the black woman. So him saying that, I want a white woman after
Lucky
being
number
married
6.
6 children.
Right.
He ready for the next wife too.
Right.
And he's thinking about the next wife.
You need to slow down.
That's a good point, though. I don't know if that's.
Did anyone ever stop and ask maybe the reason why he ended up having 6 kids with the black woman is because the black woman probably would refuse to take some type of birth control, and maybe he didn't want 6 kids, but she was like, fuck it, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and maybe that's why he's just like, I'm just going to go get a different type of woman because clearly dealing with this type of woman isn't working out for me. But no, nobody ever stops to say, let's look at the other side of the coin. Let's dig a little bit deeper other than the fact that he made a fucking comment that we don't like. Again, relating to the video I mentioned earlier, people listen to be offended, not to be enlightened. Let's continue.
I don't know if that's really is your responsibility.
And
Really,
this
to
dude,
tell this
man,
he can't
I don't think
be
they
with
should
you.
sweeter than a
Right.
bowl of Kool-Aid.
It depends on the circumstance.
It's
Let's put it
not
this way.
telling
I think
you.
if you're being
It's just
disrespectful,
Right.
it's at least a point
Okay.
to ask.
Understood.
Yeah, well, like you can't tell another man what
Right.
to do.
Right.
But
You like,
you're like you ain't Dame Dash or something. This is what a man does.
I wouldn't want a black man to demean black women and go.
Right.
I would talk to you
That's the
before.
main,
You know what I'm saying?
Here we
The
go.
meaning.
Right.
This is the shit that I get all the fucking time, even though I'm married to a black woman. But because I fucking say something critical about it, or say something that, again, may offend you, all of a sudden now I am bashing black women, and I am disrespecting them. I hate the fact that we're raised by women. I really do.
He's just speaking to his experience.
On his
Right.
experience.
There wasn't now he wants. Right.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
No, yeah.
It's the same thing, like, you know, like they go back to that Dennis Rodman story.
Whether he was speaking on his experiences or just speaking in fucking general, it's his fucking opinion. Why the fuck does it matter? Like, why do black people act like freedom of speech is only good when you talking about good shit, but when you talk about negative shit, you need to be silenced and shut the fuck up? Like, oh God.
He was like, you know, the black women around my neighborhood called me ugly when I was younger. So then when he got to his position, he was like, I don't mess with him.
I mean, he was ugly.
He is.
So, but I'm saying,
That's
so it's
hilarious.
like, that's kind of how that one example, that one exception, you see maybe like a handful of them, like, oh, okay, that's what happens. That's what
So, okay, let's make this make fucking sense. He brought up the Dennis Rodman story. He said they called him ugly, they did it, yada, 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 okay? If pit bulls keep biting your ass, keep attacking you, keep just have you in utter fear, do you want to be around a fucking pit bull anymore? If you're walking down the street and 5 times out of 7 days when you're walking down the street, a big ass python just fucking comes out of the sewer and shit, do you want to live in that fucking neighborhood anymore? If racist white folks and their white supremacy keep fucking spray painting your house, calling you nigger all the time, are you gonna want to fucking live around white folks? What the fuck is wrong with niggas?
being seen versus what the reality on the ground actually is.
Now, but the issue but black women must think this. Well, it's not a question, right? So, the disconnect is there. But why is that? I don't know. I mean, media, yes, but this has been going on before social media, obviously. This has been going on for
Years.
Years and years and
Slavery
years and
time.
years. And it's better now than what it was 50 years ago, 30 years ago in the 80s. In the 80s, it was an issue in the 80s. It's not an issue now. But it still exists as a thing for black women to consider.
Right.
And that might be a failing on our part somehow for not getting that message across. Like, hey, that's dead.
Right.
You know?
I think it's a combination issue because yes, there's the crossover, but I think it also goes when you have so many men who aren't staying with their black women, even if they don't go to a white woman, just leave. Like it's hitting them from both ends. It's like, okay, you're either going with the white woman or you're not staying.
Right.
So now it just
Either
makes
way,
it
you're not here.
like either way.
You want to know why they're not staying? Because they get sick and tired of black women's shit. Again, we're not connecting the dots here. It's deeper than just black men just running away. I have dated several black females that I've literally told, leave me the fuck alone. They keep calling me. They keep texting me. They would not leave me the fuck alone. I kid you not. The one bitch that I dated, when I told her it was done, it was a wrap, and she tried, and I caught her in a lie about her saying that I got her pregnant, I turned my phone on silent so that it would not fucking ring. Do you know I had 72 missed fucking calls in 1 hour? And she kept calling me over and over and over and over and over and over until I finally answered and said, what the fuck do you want? And she threatened me and said, you're gonna pay for this, kid. Who wants to fucking deal with that? Niggas is simple-minded. And they simp for these hoes and they don't understand. They don't give a fuck about you, black man. They just don't want you happy. They're miserable and they want to see you miserable. And you're willingly putting yourself through this bullshit. Go find you a black woman that actually makes you happy. And shut the fuck up about why black dudes is dating white chicks or non-black chicks. It don't fucking matter.
We're not wanted after you've done whatever you've done. So I can see it from that angle.
So what about the brothers that like they tried to mess with the black woman, but the black woman wasn't really giving them no rhythm, and then the white woman.
Who are these brothers?
No, I know brothers like this because you know. Yes, I know a lot of brothers like that. Who
They was like, I want to date black girls. Black girls.
It's not that it wasn't like a conscious decision. It's just that the white women were feeling them more. Yeah. You know, like they were all. You know, people like you say, times change. We get to mingle with everybody.
Those things are alright. I don't know.
Dog, it's called preference. Some white women have preference for black men. Some black men have preference for white women. Some white men have preference for black women. Some black women have preference for white men. Why the fuck is this even an issue? Why I don't understand the root cause of why we have to fucking decipher the Da Vinci Code on why where black men put their fucking penis. Why does it matter? I don't care where another black man is putting his penis. I don't. It's none of my business. It isn't my business. Let's continue.
See, my experience is very segregated. Like high school, like college.
Right.
Like most of my friends are black. You know, I have white friends, but most of my white friends.
And you're very ignorant, my fellow brother, my fellow dark-skinned brother. You are very ignorant because you confined yourself, or whether it was through you doing it or by your circumstances, you chose to only deal with a certain segment of population. Therefore, cutting you off from the vast experiences of dealing or at least talking or communicating with other people not like you. So therefore, you are not really qualified to even have this conversation because all you know is one perspective. You have to know a little bit more about everything before you can try to come up with a solution to a problem, because there's multifaceted of different sides of an issue that could get you to a solution. But if you are only focused on one aspect of the many sides that there could be, chances are you may not figure out the answer to the problem.
Right now. I have a lot. I have like
How many go?
8.
That's a high count.
I got a lot.
That's a high count. I only got like 2 friends, so you're doing good.
That's a lot.
You're doing good.
That's a lot.
You got one every day of the week, right?
Right, and twice on Sunday.
Doing big things.
You know
Made it.
what I mean? But I have a lot of white female friends, and that's.
I already watched this before. This is the part where this dude, you could tell dude is a super simp, and he's basically being very disingenuous, and I don't know why, but I guess maybe he knows some black females that would be watching this, and maybe he's trying to impress them. I don't know. Maybe he genuinely feels this way, but let's watch this bullshit.
Just happenstance. I don't know why that is, but that's what it is.
Right.
And you know, I had white coworkers, and they once tried to set me up one of their friends. You know, and
I don't know. Look at his brother's face. I think he knows this story is bullshit. I work with a bunch of white people. I've worked with white people all throughout my life. Never once have a white person ever said, "Hey, Matt, do you date white girls? How would you like to go on a date with one?"
you know, because I've mentioned this to them about me only dating black girls. And they were like,
Why would you mention this to them? Why is it even important who you date? You're at the place of employment. Why is this a topic of conversation at your place of employment?
what? You know, and I was like, but I do not date white women. I only just date black women. You know, I try to explain to them like that, because then otherwise they might have felt a little bit like,
Right.
And I was like,
And sir, if they were offended, who gives a fuck? You said you don't date white women, or that you not necessarily don't date white women, but you typically only date black women. So why would you care what the fuck they felt about that if that's what you do? If you're comfortable doing this is why I said this motherfucker's disingenuous. If you're comfortable doing just strictly dating black females, there's no reason to fucking tell your co-workers that you only date black females. It wouldn't be a fucking issue because you're busy doing what you like doing. I typically, and I'm just like this guy. Yes, I've went out and dated white females, but 98% of the females I dated were black. Not Hispanic, not nothing else, black. I've dated 2 white girls in my life. All the other females I dated was black.
if you set the date up, I will go. You know, I didn't think they were going to do it.
Right.
I thought they were just saying it just to be saying it. What, you having a discussion at work? You don't think that's real?
Right.
Next day, yo, it's set up. I'm like, okay, wow.
Bro over here, he looking at him like, dude, you lying out your fucking ass.
It's real.
So
Look at this dude here. Look at his face. He's looking at that dude like, dude, yeah, all right, whatever, bro.
And I was like, wow, here I go. You know, I had never had a date with a white girl ever,
Right.
ever in life. And you know, we get there, we're sitting down. You know, there were a lot of black folks in the room.
Looking at you.
Black women in the vicinity. Right. I was like, they're not staring at me. I'm bugging. They're looking at me. But I felt like it in my mind that they were.
No doubt.
And so we talked. We ordered. We got, we paid the check. We left. I shook her hand. Dinner was nice. Oh. And that was, so the next day it was like, what happened with the girl? I was like, it was cool, but and it wasn't because she was white. We didn't have any connectivity.
Right.
But I don't know if that connectivity was because she was white. I don't know, and I didn't really try to find out because I didn't care.
Right.
You know that part.
That's a fucking lie. You did care. If you did not care, you wouldn't have brought this story up. It's a lie. You care, bro. Just be like, you were interested, but you was scared to let your guard down because you was afraid what these black females might think. You said yourself, oh, they really looking at me? Oh, it just must be all in my mind. No, they probably were looking at you, sir. Because that typically happens when you're with a white female. You get dirty looks. And then when they're with their white man, they're looking at you like, aha, you can't get this. But we don't want to talk about this. Let's let this finish up so we can.
With the black women
I didn't really want to.
No, I wanted to shut off to.
There are so many dope black girls that it's not really a thing for me to be like, yo, I'm swirling. It's just.
Right. See, my whole thing with that, real quick, is that I just want to be able to relate to somebody, right? I want, like when somebody like
this little sweet dude, even though he seems very sweet, I don't mean like nice way, but this dude here seems to be speaking some realm of, common sense, voice of rationale, where all these other dudes just seem to be on this I'm pro black woman shit. And this is the way every man, regardless of color, should feel. Is they should want to find somebody who they can connect to and that appreciates them for who they are and can love them for who they are for the rest of their life. That should be the goal of every man, regardless of fucking color, regardless of whatever the background is.
I get beat up at UVA. I want to be able to speak to somebody that, understands why this hurts to see something like that, right? Not like somebody going, oh, how do you feel about this? Like.
She gotta know stuff.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have to translate. I don't want to have to be the cultural translator of it. I just want to be able to. You just get it. You just get it.
You don't know who Fannie Lou Hamer is. I ain't got time to explain this to you. Like, I don't have time for these conversations. I don't have time for these conversations.
If I Google it, yeah, bro, Fannie Lou. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Ask a Black Man. For more.
Well, in closing, this is probably the longest ass video I've done in a while. But I'm exhausted by this topic. I'm worn out. I don't really understand why this is such a major issue that we have to keep talking about this. About why there's why is black men doing this? Like, I don't listen. As a black man, I found the woman who I feel like I want to spend the rest of my life with. And I love this woman dearly. And I love the children that we begot together. And I wouldn't, yes, I have a preference. And my preference is towards being with a black female. But I always said, I would never say never, because when I said never, I ended up dating a white female. And for the time, it seemed real cool and it seemed like it would work out. But she had other issues going on. Not necessarily related to race, but she had some other issues, mainly mental, that was going on with her. And I couldn't deal with that. But for a time, we connected. And it was what it was. But that's what even made me want to stay in that relationship for that time, was because we connected. Not because she was white and I thought it would make me feel better or something. It had nothing to do with that. Now, I can't speak for every black man, but I can speak for myself. And my thing is, I wanted to find a female who was going to love me and accept me for me and be willing to go through the good and the bad times with me in the trenches. That's what I wanted. And that's what every man should be looking forward to. Not trying to impress some fucking black females who don't give a fuck about you. But if you want to be with black female, find that black female that represents everything that you could ever want. So that it would make you feel like you never have to look at another female to get what you really want, but you're settling for something because this is a black female and this is who you should be with because both y'all black and both y'all got struggles. That's a stupid reason to be with someone. Be with someone who's going to love you for you and appreciate everything that you bring to the table. And that's the problem with a vast majority of these black females. They don't appreciate shit. Even when they get the hookup, they still got some reason to complain about it. It is what it is. But this has been another Q's commentary. Hopefully I made it entertaining. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you later. Peace.